Hey everybody, it's Mama. Welcome back to Mama Dirty Tarot. So today we are doing a deep dive into Lil Baby. Somebody did request me to do this video, so we talked about, his public persona versus his, true inner nature, driving force behind his career, early music struggles, current music struggles, love, all that good stuff. All right, so let's not even waste any time and jump right in, starting with his public persona. All right, so I already have him here. So we have a shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. Sage, be devoted and committed. Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. And Traveler, move in a new direction. So this is a lot. As far as his public persona, obviously we know he goes through a lot of things with the mother of his children, and that's a big piece of his image and what he goes through in terms of his music career and everything in his life. We do have shapeshifter off the bat. They're saying that he's duplicitous. He's wearing a mask. There's a part of him that, he's not showing us. That can be, used for good. Obviously, the ability to be able to adapt and transform and have conversations with people. Like, yeah, that can come up very charming, charismatic, and, adaptable when it comes to having a lot of friends. But, that could also lend a person towards telling lies or just not truly being who they are and following their own true self in order to have a group of friends. Okay, so that's what I get from that shapeshifter, as well as this star ancestor, because it's like he wants to be everybody's best friend. He wants to be the one that everybody likes, like the golden, the one that everybody comes to, the golden goose. Like, he just wants to be that guy. And because of that, it's like that lends him towards, I would say, being taken advantage of, because it's like if you're so egotistical that you feel like you want to be the one that everybody likes, everybody's friends with, everybody's cool with, you got to know that there's going to be people that's hating, there's going to be people that's projecting negativity on you, there's going to be people that don't want to see you protected with this sage out here. Like, it's one of those things where he has to always keep himself protected and always watch his back, because he knows that, because he want to be that guy, he's got to know that he's got to deal with enemies and people not wanting to see him be in that place. Also, I would say with this Earth Mother and Water Guardian, it lends towards him being a very emotional person. I don't know if they're saying that he gets this from his mother, but he's somebody who is very in tune with his emotions, possibly can feel, bad energy or when people don't like him or when the vibe is just not right. Like, he's definitely in tune with his emotions and is a highly emotional and intuitive person. With this Mirror Guardian, I feel like he's an overanalyzer, he's an overthinker, he's one who stays in his head. What is his zodiac sign? This is giving Gemini. Like, this is giving real, like, Gemini, analytical, possibly even Aquarius. But it's just one of those things where I feel like he's always in his head with this Mirror Guardian and take time to reflect. Like, he spends a lot of time alone just questioning things that he's seeing, questioning people. Because like I said, he's in tune with other people's emotions and feelings, and he can sense the energy in his environment. So he uses that to his advantage, but he also spends a lot of time just in his head overthinking it and questioning, like, can I trust this person? Is this person cool? Is this person playing me? Like, he really does look at people with a fine tooth and comb, like, to see if he could really mess with them or not, or if they might eventually, go against them, or if they're a fake or false person. We lastly have Traveler. So he likes to travel, he likes to vacation. Shoot, I'm bugging. Isn't he a Sagittarius? Yeah, I'm totally tweaking. No, Baby's a Sag. Okay. But no wonder he's so intuitive and in tune and seeing what's going on in the room. Like, that's definitely some Sag stuff right there. Like, they be having spiritual gifts. They might keep it lighthearted. They might keep it funny, or they might be quiet and not say anything. But the whole time they've observed everything about everybody. That's the whole point of being a shapeshifter and being adaptable, is that you know everybody's strengths, you know everybody's weak points. You pretty much know. So you might not say anything. That's the point of him being analytical and always overthinking and being in his head and reflecting. He may not say it, but he's literally categorizing everybody in his head and taking down notes. Like, all right, this person did this, that person did that. Like, and he's pretty much using it to analyze whether these people are good for him or if he should stay away from them. So that's pretty much his public persona. He's observing his surroundings. He's taking note. and it allows him to, make smart decisions. And like I said, as far as the traveler, I think he does like to travel, and he also literally and figuratively likes to move around. You don't stay in one place too often, because he never know. It feels like he's one of those that just be, like I said, looking over his shoulder with this sage, like always feeling like he needs to protect himself from other people and not let other people get too close and know too much about him. So he be trying to watch his back and not allow himself to be still and in one place too often, so that way he don't get caught up. That's what I would say as far as his public persona. Let's go to his inner nature, the things we don't know, that's, maybe a little bit more hidden about him. It's a lot less cards. So what this is telling me is that Lil Baby is very private, okay? He is a very private person, because I was pulling to get these cards. He do not like to talk about his true inner nature. We only got 4 cards here. Heart Guardian, Mountains, Magic Guardian, and Oracle. All right, so he's highly intuitive, highly spiritual with this Oracle. He pays attention to, like I said, that important information, with this wait for important information that he gets from just being around people. He's always going to listen. He's always going to listen more than he talk, He's that person in the room that is not quick to just say anything. He'll rather just observe and see really what people got going on. But he's noticing everything. Like, he feels the change in the energy in the room. It's crazy. So with this Magic Guardian, unlike in Magic Within, is saying that he has a lot of spiritual gifts. And he uses his spiritual gifts to pretty much guide him in his decision making and his choices and what it is that he does. We also have Heart Guardian, so he's really loving. Remember, he came out as somebody very emotional, and that he takes on a lot of those maternal instincts from his mother with that feel, love, and comforted on the Earth Mother card. So he's definitely in tune with his heart and his divine feminine nature. And I think that he gets that from his mother, and he gets a lot of his spiritual gifts from his maternal energy and his maternal bloodline. All right, we also have Mountains, stand your ground. So internally, yes, he goes through a lot. Yes, he's been through a lot, but he's very strong-willed. He's not really one to crack under pressure. He really knows how to fight and live, to see another day. Like, he's not going to let nothing stop him. He's not going to let nothing hold him back. He knows how to work through those emotions and those feelings. He knows how to pretty much handle all that and get to a point where he's able to pretty much move forward and not let anything hold him back. So that's great. He's one of those people who can move easily through his day-to-day because he's in control of his emotions. He's knowing what he's doing as far as his decision-making. And he's not, I would say, impulsive when it comes to what he does, even though ultimately he moves from a space of his heart with his Heart Guardian, and he is a very loving person who loves love and loves women and loves to do. Yes, that's true. But it seems like he's real smart with the way that he goes about it. Like, he's not quick to just make a decision. Like, I don't know how he, be ending up getting caught up with certain women, because it feels like, he be moving in silence. So I don't know, people must be really looking hard to get into his business. All right, let's see next. What was his intentions behind having a career? What was he looking for? His motivations, known and, even hidden intentions. So you have Spring. See your seeds grow. Peacemaker, a harmonious resolution is possible. Winter, take care of your needs, coming out in reverse. Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Okay, I'm picking up what they put now. Stag, trust and thrive in reverse. And Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. So I think he wanted to take care of his family. He wanted to take care of his children. He wanted to take care of his money, his lady. Like, it was all about him really moving to a point where he wasn't going to have to always be looking over his shoulder with this arrow here. Surround yourself with protective energy. It's like, when you always have to be looking over your shoulder, you in the streets, you live in a certain life. Even if you're not that attached and you're not that heavily into it, and your energy might be peaceful and you might be a peacemaker, people will still might just want to, get rid of you. You could still, bullets don't know no names. So this could happen to anybody. So he was trying to give himself a better chance to thrive and a better chance to see his future in a life and see his children grow, older, and him become old. Like, this was just a better way for him to grow old and live a better life. I feel like he wasn't really taking care of his needs, and he felt like he couldn't take care of his family needs. And with the see your seeds grow. It's like you want to see your children grow up happy and healthy and being afforded every opportunity that you didn't have. Or if your mom gave you those opportunities and you know she did, then of course you gotta repay her back for everything that she poured into you, and make sure that you continue the cycle by doing that for your seeds and your children. So that was pretty much his motivation. Also, with this trust and thrive coming out of reverse, it was paranoia, like I said, just knowing that at any time it could be your last day, it could be your last breath. So why not go after what you really want? Why not, give yourself a chance to have something better instead of just sticking to the rivers and the lakes that you used to and just doing it the wrong way? Like, I feel like he got to a point where he realized that there could be a better way, and he could do this in a more peaceful manner, and he don't have to be involved in no type of street life at all. And even with this winter in reverse, it's like he's seen, some cold things, he's seen some dark things, and I think after a while you get tired of that. Of course, you become numb, and it's like you just don't want to keep going through pain. You want some peace. you want calm. So that's the driving force behind him wanting to be Lil Baby. Let's see next, how did he actually become Lil Baby? Mature man, false person, great fortune, expectation, privileged lady, and coffin. This is a lot about a woman, like losing a woman, or a woman passing away, or not being there, or not wanting to. Tell me about this coffin, please. Give me clarification on this coffin. Justice, karma. Yeah, there's two more, please. The Queen of Wands. The Page of Pentacles. Oh, okay. Y'all, I know this is going to sound crazy. Three of Pentacles. So it was like he wanted to, obviously be this, be Lil Baby and get successful and do things the right way with this mature man and great fortune. I don't feel like he wanted to align himself with being false. And that was the sort of the expectation that was being made, that in order for him to have this, he was going to have to pretty much align himself with being false or doing something wrong. But like I said, it goes back to his mom and those morals and everything that she set him with, and what he learned from her, and him wanted to stay mature and he wanted to continue to make the right decision. But it's weird, you guys, because with this Justice, Queen of Wands, and Page of Pentacles, this is making it seem like there was a woman that he was working with or in a relationship with, pretty much, that was doing spell work on him. Oh my God. Like, I swear. And it was like he thought that he could trust her. He thought that she was the one that, he loved her. But he found out that she was a false person, and that she was, literally, that's what this feels like with this Queen of Wands. She was literally doing root work, doing spell work on him. Oh my God, like, and it's like once he put that relationship to an end and he got away from her, that is how he was able to really start growing and aligning and becoming Lil Baby. Like, I don't know if he went and did a cleanse or a wash or whatever, but once he got this false woman that was wearing the mask out of his energy, that's when everything got better. And it's like she was always expecting him to stay with him and be with him. She was doing spell work to keep him there and to keep a hold on him, but he overcame it. He put that to an end. Justice was served. It was, karma here. And he got up away from this woman that was trying to keep her finances in order, that was trying to keep her stability. Oh God, she could have been a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is not good, you guys. I'm not, because listen, we have Three of Pentacles, so there's three women here. There's three women here, so there could have been multiple women. I'm not willing to just say it was just Aisha, or it was just Jada, or just whoever. And I didn't even ask about Aisha. I should have pulled some cards on her. So when we get around to love, I hope I don't forget. I'm going to pull some cards on her, because, boy, there was definitely women doing spell work on him. And that was stopping him from really evolving and growing and getting to where it is that he needed to go. But once he put this to an end, it opened, he put that cycle to an end. It opened his roads and his pathway for him to start over and get that stability that he was looking for. But these women was trying to keep him stuck and trapped. That is tea. That is tea. Wow. I'm glad he got away from that shit, because, boy, yeah, he had women doing spell work on him. I hope he had to know, because he had to put that cycle to an end to get that up off of him. So he must have figured it out. Because, boy. All right, let's see. What was some of his, early music career struggles once he, actually was really trying to pop off? and get big. What was his early music career struggles? Main male, distant horizon, chariot. Well, basically the chariot card, but change, house, pathway, despair, and official person. Okay, so as far as his early music career is that yes, he wanted to stay pretty much in his mature male energy, right? He wanted to make sure that he stayed this where is that? This mature man. But you have this main male, these other people that he was working with that was telling him, you know, in order to really grow as far as distant horizons and change, like in order to really grow and get to really being successful and open up your pathways and really become an official person, you're gonna have to do something, all right? With this house, and that means attaching to the bloodline. And I think that in terms of him wanting to become an official person, this was something that he was going through a lot of stress and turmoil over, because it's like, yeah, I want to be that guy. Remember, he struggles with ego. He struggles with really wanting to be popular and famous and a celebrity and wanting to be that guy. So he was going through a lot of despair, because it's like, damn, do I do it? Do I not? Like, what's the situation here? But I think ultimately with this not hiring, he was like, nah. You know, so let me see. I want to make sure. But I think ultimately when it comes to the situation, I don't think he did it. So give me 3 cards here. Like as far as this despair and official person, what did Lil Baby choose to do? Because they wanted to open up a certain pathway and involve himself with some stuff. So what is it? What did he end up doing here? 6 of Wands. Oh boy. 5 of Wands. And 10 of Wands. Okay, so what he basically did was fought for. It looked like he fought for his success. He fought for his victory here with this 6 of Wands. Definitely, there was a lot of competition. There was a lot of stress. But with this 10 of Wands, it's like he pretty much decided that he was just going to carry all the burdens. Oh my God, yeah. Oh God, you guys, I just split the deck on the DEVIL. No, it's not good. Because I'm like, wait, he decided he wanted to carry all of the burdens, but I'm like, is that a good thing? No. Okay. Damn, Lil Baby, you was doing so good until you aligned yourself with being a dark person and a false person in order to, because that was an early career struggle, you guys. He was trying to really, really pop off and make it, and it was just like it wasn't working. And in order to really open up that pathway, he had to make that change. And that meant, because I was about to say he had to fight for his booty hole, but it's like he lost that battle. He gave it up. Oh, God, he took on that burden and chose to just go ahead and do it. Oh, now my right ear is ringing heavy on the masculine side. Oh, God. Oh, Lil Baby. Oh, my God, Gwen, why would you do this? Well, this is crazy. All right, well, it is what it is, you know. Who he's sleeping in his bed at night is not my business. But yeah, this is basically what he chose to do, is just align himself with, you know, the type of stuff that the Diddler and all of them do in order to have his career and become a part of that crew and sell his soul in order to have success. You know, because he was going through too much burdens. It wasn't working out, you know, trying to do it the right way. So, dang, and it's sad because he got so much intuitive skills and abilities and gifts, and it's like he just chose to align himself with these people, you know, and sell his soul in order to have his career, because he wanted to be in the spotlight so damn bad. And it's like he wanted to overcome his competition. He just had to be the one. He had so much ego that's driving him to pretty much feel like he got to be the best and he's got to win against all odds, and you know, he just got to be in the forefront. So yeah, he chose to align himself with that stuff. So oh well, you know, we unbiased over here, so that's what he chose to do. That's what he chose to do. That's his choice. He gonna have to deal with the consequences at the end of his life. Not me. For entertainment purposes only. So let's go ahead and continue to his early personal struggles. Marriage, message, concern, lovers, and gift. Yeah. His early personal struggles was pretty much keeping what he was doing behind closed doors under wraps. He was concerned whether or not people would find out, know about the, you know, the love thingies, the lovers, the fact that he's pretty much gay. Yeah, he was wondering if people was going to find that out, or if, you know, his relationships and the things that he was doing on the forefront was going to be able to cover that up, and things like that. If people will find out that, you know, as far as this gift, that he didn't solely rely on his gifts in order to get to where he is, and that he, attached to the powers that be. Four Wands energy. We know what it is when we see the house, when we see marriage, Four Wands. That's all about the bloodline, and their choice to attach themselves to those things and promote a certain agenda and message, and sign on the dotted line. So his main personal concern was whether or not people will find out about his sexuality and what he's into and what it is that he does. So that's pretty much it. Whether or not his baby mamas and his girls and all them other people would find out and be putting him on the forefront and talking about it, if he was going to be, blasted in terms of his sexuality. So, all right, let's go ahead next. What is he working on now? Eight of Swords, Knight of Swords, the High Priestess, Three of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. All right, so the ancestors are saying that he's pretty much doing what he's been doing, business as usual. But now it's a little bit different because he feel like he's been bamboozled. Because, you got the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, he's enjoying the fruits of his labor. He's starting to feel a little bit comfortable when it comes to his finances and his money. Yeah, he feels a little bit stable or whatever. But he feels bamboozled in terms of Young Thug. It's like with this Knight of Swords, hearing all of the things that Young Thug was yapping, running his mouth, saying, hearing about these conversations, it's like he feel like he was stupid because all along he knew with the High Priestess, I couldn't trust him. I knew he was an op. I knew he was an enemy. I knew he was going against me. He just felt like he went against his intuition and he didn't listen to his better judgment. And now he's in a situation where his heart is broken. He's going through pain. He feel betrayed with this Three of Swords. Like, yeah, he feels completely betrayed. And he feel like he can't, you know what I'm saying? He can't go against his intuition ever again with this Ace of Swords. He got to trust in his first mind first and always go with his gut intuition, because turns out it's always right with this High Priestess and he actually be knowing. And it's like, duh, you be knowing, but it's like, ugh, why you attach yourself to sleeping around and doing that type of stuff in order to have a career? Like, I don't get that, but it's one of those things where he just figured it out and he felt like he always knew and he shouldn't have trusted Young Thug, and he should have known that Slime was gonna do that to him and all of that good stuff. Like, the nigga name is Slime. Like, but yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much the type of. I just heard him say that in my house. That's the type of thing it is with him, where he just feel like he allowed himself to be stuck and trapped in a situation with this Eight of Swords when he knew better, and he could have been moved around and freed himself from even having a relationship or being around him. He felt like he should have never told him everything that he told him. He felt like he knows too much about him now. Like, but it's just one of those things where he's trying to make better decisions and focus on what it is that he already should have been doing before, which is keeping his mouth shut and just being the one that's observing in the room and not really speaking and keeping his mouth shut. Like, he's like, yo, I always got to follow my intuition and go with what my mind is telling me, because at the end of the day, like, if I talk too much, look at the type of, it could have been worse. Who knows what he said? Like, I think he a little bit paranoid now with this Eight of Swords, like not even wanting to be around him or talk to him or go around him, because he feel like, bro, what if this dude is a fed? What if he, do be talking to the, like, he's like, I always thought this and knew this, like, that's how he feels. So he's like, no, there's no reason for me to have a conversation with anybody that I feel like I can't trust. He right now is in hermit mode. You see the hermit on the bottom of on the bottom top, whatever you want to call it, of the deck here. He's pretty much isolating himself and staying away from people because he don't know who he could talk to or who he could trust, and he feel like at this point is nobody. And you shouldn't be talking to nobody, because you never know what they got going on behind closed doors, and if they really involved with telling or something of the sort and running their mouth. So let's go ahead next. What's his current music career struggles? 0303, taking chances. Quadruple sixes, great blessings. 111, intuition, of course. Unexpected shift, 0505. Quadruple nines, lesson learned. And 0909, new beginning. So when it comes to his music career, it's like, it's one of those things where he wants to do something different as far as, possibly working alone with this unexpected shift and new beginnings, because he feel like he learned his lesson with working with people in the past, and he feel like at this point it's time for him to start over. It's time for him to have it's time for endings, and conclusions when it comes to the people that he's been working with in the past. And he's got to be smarter, right? Like, he felt like he was taking risks and he was taking chances in the past just for the sake of getting money with this great blessings. And he knew better with this intuition than to do certain things, and he still did it anyway. And now he's, he's having a rude awakening with this 0505. It says divine intervention, sudden challenges. So his, gut feeling. So it's one of those things where all of those gentle nudges that he was getting, it's one of those things where it done rocked his whole boat. Rock the boat, rock the boat. Yeah, change positions. He ready to new position, new position. He ready to, you know what I'm saying, change positions, because at the end of the day, he realized that he fucked up in the past, for lack of a better term. It was at this moment he knew he effed up. Like, it's one of those things where he had that moment, because it's like, damn, I knew better and I still aligned myself with this darkness, all for the sake of having money, all for the sake of having blessings. Like, look what I done did. I done sold my soul. I done took penitentiary chances, taking a risk. I done did all this stuff and I knew better. And pretty much he feel like karma's coming to bite. Things is coming back to bite him. And he's urging, and looking for a new beginning. And that's where he's struggling, because he's getting those nudges that he needs to make better decisions. Because I'm telling you, he's going through some endings and some karma right now on behalf of the choices that he had made, and he don't like it. It's not good. He's not appreciating what it is that he's going through in terms of his music career right now, and this is all because of the choices that he chose to make. It ain't gonna be as easy to make money. It ain't gonna be as easy to deal with great blessings if he don't. Pretty much, I don't know if repenting is gonna be enough at this point, but he's gonna definitely have to make some changes. What's going on with his personal life, as far as his struggles there? We got 24/24 good times. Good times. 1001 spiritual awakening. I knew it. He's going through a whole freaking spiritual awakening right now. 0808 swift action. 1212 persistence. 333 support, and quadruple 3 social skills. All right. It's one of those things where, the pretty much spell work, all of that stuff is wearing off. This is what's going on in his personal life. The spiritual awakening that he's going through, it says a new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. He's going through a spiritual awakening which can feel like the dark night of the soul. You're on the path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. So like I told y'all, it ain't good times right now. He's not so happy. He feel like he's lacking in affection. He don't got friends. He not on the same page with the people that he's with. He don't feel like nobody's really rooting for him. He just feel like he don't know who to show love to right now at this time, because he done did that in the past, and now he's finding out that people he spread love to is actually talking about him behind his back. He can't really trust them, like things that he already knew. And so in terms of his spiritual awakening, he's at a time where things are expanding in terms of his consciousness, which is 0808, and it's happening quicker than he could really even blink. So he may not like how fast it's happening. Of course, it's a dark night of the soul. He's going through sadness, turmoil, anger, depression, dark days. Yeah, he feel isolated and he feel alone, and like there's nobody in this world that he could trust. But this is for a reason. They needed him to wake it up. They needed him to get it together, because he was bugging. He has certain spiritual gifts, and they like, nah, you out here falling. You're very off track, and it's time for you to wake up. Get up from under that spell work. With his social skills and his support, it's like a lot of people that he was around in terms of his love life, because he is so into sleeping around, having so many, multiple partners and doing things. He don't even be realizing how, people be siphoning off his energy, be doing spell work on him, that type of thing. So it's one of those things where, unfortunately, he's starting to see it with his vision and talents. Like, he's starting to see angel numbers. He's starting to see certain things. Like, he cannot ignore the intuitive nudges and messages that he's getting in terms of the people that he was around, that he was sleeping with, and all of that stuff. Like, look at this. It's just all these there's a lot of threesomes. There's a lot of partners. There's a lot of sleeping around. There's a lot of engaging in sexual activity. And all of that stuff is starting to pretty much come back to bite him. And they're doing that on purpose so that it could be a wake-up call for him to cut back. Right? Slow it down. Slow it down, little baby. Like, you don't need to be sleeping with all these different women. And no. And so with this 12-12 persistence, again, it's all about a shift in new experiences. So it says, take immediate action once it pops up. Of course, a lovely partnership or an epic romance is also in the cards. So like I said, it goes back to the fact that he is one of those people who is quick to run towards love, and he's not very persistent when it comes to celibacy, practicing what they call it, semen retention, practicing I'm thinking of the word discipline, right? He's not disciplined when it comes to his sexual nature. So they want him to start working on that. Like, he needs to be really persistent when it comes to slowing down having sex and just being abstinent and being celibate and going down his spiritual path, doing cleanses, like really getting himself cleaned and not allowing women to continually do spell work and siphon off of him when he's, just sleeping around with them and not thinking about the consequences. He's obviously not using condoms. He just doing it willy-nilly. So yeah, let's see. Next, I asked about his relationship with Young Thug, of course. We have the Page of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, the Magician, and the Seven of Swords. So it's real painful for him. He feels so betrayed, unfortunately, with this Page of Wands and Nine of Swords. He feels like he can never be friends with him again. He can never go back to being around him or dealing with him again, because he feels like this is just going too far. Like, time has run out here with this Wheel of Fortune for them to continue to have a friendship and be around each other. He feel like he's an enemy now with the Seven of Swords, somebody that he gotta protect himself against and he gotta stay away from, because ultimately working with him and aligning with him has only brought him pain, sorrow, sadness. Like, this has only messed up his financial opportunities, has messed up his friendships, his relationships. He's saying that this is turning his whole world upside down at this point with this Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant. He feel like the karma that he's experiencing and the things that he's going through, he's kind of he's playing the blame game right now. He's not even really blaming himself for all of the choices that he made. He blaming the other people that he was aligned with and the people that he chose to be around. His attachment to the bloodline, like, he's blaming all of that. He's not even really thinking about the fact that with this Page of Wands, he was being childish. He was being selfish. He was thinking one-track minded and feeling like he needed to make this decision and, turn his back on God and doing it the right way. He left God. God didn't leave him. He chose to leave. He felt like that he was in a lack mindset and that there wasn't enough. So what they're saying is that ultimately, with him blaming Young Thug as well as whoever else, because we know it's not just Thug, he's blaming the people that he was around for the choices that he made and the things that he's going through and what he's experienced in terms of his life. And they're saying that ultimately, no, with the Magician, he got to take accountability for his part in this. He can't be sitting up here saying that another man made him choose to sleep with men and choose to align with darkness and so it's all like, no, you chose to trust him and believe in him and do all these things and feel like he was, I don't know, a God or your father or something. Like, you put him in that position and you chose to do these things. And now the craziest part is that he's in a situation where he feel like ultimately with the Hierophant and the Magician and the Seven of Wands, like I said in the live video, he feel like if all goes right and he's able to turn things around in his favor and he could get past whatever these sleepless nights are and this depression, this Nine of Swords, all this confusion and turmoil that he's going through, the tension, once he gets past it, he's going to try to see how he can make this work out in his favor, where he replaces the position that he feel like Young Thug had as being, the leader, the boss, the one that everybody trusted and loved. Like, he want to go ahead and now fulfill that spot. He feel like he deserved that spot all the while anyway. He felt like he was being little bro by Young Thug in the first place. He felt like all the time this dude was a weight on his shoulder. Then now he's able to get off of his back, and now he could turn things around in his favor and possibly take his position. So that's what that is in terms of the relationship with Young Thug. But on a bigger scale, I do appreciate that the ancestors are making it clear that he cannot simply blame Young Thug for the choices that he chose to make. Like, you really can't blame him for your decisions. At the end of the day, you're a grown man and you chose to do that. That was on you. Whoop the effing do, okay? Whoop the fucking do, all right? But let's continue to who is next that I asked about his relationship with? Oh, 21 Savage, the World, Three of Wands, the Hanged One, the Sun, the Six of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. Now I'm hearing 6 foot, 7 foot. Looking at the 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. So it's one of those things with he felt like he has to continue to move in silence right now. He cannot be around nobody. He felt like he got to stand alone with this Three of Wands. Like, Lil Baby is really in this energy where he just do not know what's the truth, who to trust. He feel like he possibly is an enemy too with this Sun and that night with the World and the Sun. Like, nah, that's probably one of my enemies. He aligned with Young Thug at the end of the day anyway. He still want to, be one of his lapdogs and see what he could get out of it and what he could receive from him. And he not standing on business with this Hang One coming out. Like, he basically saying that, 21 is not one of his ops because he not standing on business. And he would rather stand alone, stand by himself, and if he gonna do it by himself, then he gonna do it by himself. He don't need nobody else to support him and be a part of his, agenda, because he's noticing that 21 and a lot of other people, a lot of their other friends, Seven of Cups, are choosing to pretty much forgive Thug, are choosing to, let bygones be bygones and figure out a way to move forward from the situation. And he's saying, nah, he's not feeling that. He really want to damage Young Thug's reputation completely. He want Young Thug out of the picture. And so he feel like if 21 is not on his side with the world here and not feeling the way he feel, if you ain't with me, bro, and you not ready to, you feel what I'm saying, take him down and pretty much not mess with him and stand alone from him and stand away from him and no longer engage in a friendship and partnership and all that with him, if you're going to keep taking his handouts and his offers and dealing with him, if that's your bro still, then and anybody else who's still his bro, I'm not messing with y'all. Like, he's really heavily alone by himself right now. I cannot make it up. With this Hermit, King of Swords, and the Two of Wands. He's completely separated from everybody else. He's watching his back. Like, it's one of those things where he like, yo, even if I'm alone, last man standing all by myself, that's like, I'm not effing with this dude, then I'm not. Like, he just feel like a lot of people not going to end up standing on business the way that he's going to stand on business about not messing with Doug no more. He feel like a lot of people is going to fold. They're going to deal with him again. They're going to end up being back around him to see whatever it is that they can receive from him. They're going to accept whatever apologies and gifts and offerings that Young Thug have. And, you know, he feel like if that's how 21 and the rest of them feel, then they can stay on that side over with him. He on a whole different level with this world. Like, he in a whole different place. Three of Wands, like, no, he's in a whole different place, and he feel like, yo, y'all stay over there, which is Two of Wands. If I gotta be on a ship by myself all alone, I will do that because I'm standing on my truth with this King of Swords, and y'all not about to tell me nothing different, because I always knew the truth about him, and now I feel like I know the truth about all the rest of y'all, and ain't none of y'all to be trusted. So I will be by myself. All right, alone, to myself. I'm not answering no phone calls. I'm not picking up no phone calls. Don't talk to me. Don't hit me up. We don't have nothing to talk about or speak about. That's how he feel about 21 and Young Thug, you know, anybody that's aligned with them at this time. Let's see about Jada. And then I'm not going to forget after that, I'm going to pull on Aisha, because I meant to pull on her. All right, so Jada. How you feel about Jada? 5 of Pentacles, Temperance, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Swords. It's one of those things where, remember I told you, he's starting to come up from under certain spell work that he was dealing with. I feel like he really had women doing love spells and shit like that on him. So he's at a point where now that he done got that angelic guidance with his temperance and he's not being so stupid and he's starting to figure things out, he don't know if he could trust her neither. Like, ultimately, yes, that is the mother of his children. He has a lot of love for her with the 10 of Cups. He thought he was always going to be with her, but at the end of the day, he was never going to stop sleeping around with this 9 of Wands. He was never going to stop planting his seed elsewhere and dealing with other people. And she's moved on. She's dealing with other dudes now. She's doing her own thing with the 7 of Pentacles, focusing on her life, living her life. It's almost like, you know, she's pretty much made a decision to move forward. So he's not about to allow himself to be stuck. Like, it's like if she's moving on and she living her best life and she done put him, put that relationship to rest, and why would he allow himself to be, you know, with his 4 of Pentacles in a situation where he's holding on to something that she don't want no more. So he's at a place where he's just trying to move forward. But obviously, you know, he still heard about the situation. It's clear. He's heard about her moving on, sleeping with other dudes, doing her own thing, and not, you know, feeling stuck and trapped with him and not choosing to just continue on being with him. He don't like that. He would rather have just been dealing with all of the BS that he was putting her through. You know, so of course he's crying over spilled milk, but ultimately the only way that he's dealing with it with this 5 of Pentacles, the only way that he's dealing with her not dealing with him and not accepting no gifts, it's like literally she don't want nothing from him, not a dollar, not nothing. She don't care to take nothing from him. She got her own shit. She working on her own shit. So, excuse my language, but in order for him to cope with that, it's like, yeah, he's using his peace. Yeah, he's making impulsive decisions, sleeping around, you know, just planting his seed anywhere and everywhere with this 7 of Pentacles, because that's how he, you know, just like Nick Cannon said, it was a trauma. Him having all those kids was a trauma response to his divorce. It's like, you know, Lil Baby's trauma response to his breakup with Jada Waiter is to just sleep around and just pretty much plant his seed anywhere and everywhere and just be out here doing things willy-nilly. So let's see really quickly how he felt about Aisha. Oh God. Yeah, she was one of those people that was doing spell work on him for sure. What? Death? Immediately. Death, 3 of Pentacles. Remember that 3 of Pentacles? I said it was about, she was one of those 3 women. There we go, coming right back out that she was one of those 3 women that was doing spell work on him, that was putting him, you know, in stress and competition, and had a lot of drama that he was going through that he didn't even realize, affecting his money, his opportunities. And bro, I cannot make it up. Because he was cheating and doing everything and he didn't want to be faithful to her and he was doing whatever. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, she groomed him. He was young when he got with her. She was doing spell work on him. He didn't know no better. And all of that, as much as she was doing spell work and doing things to keep him there, to keep him around, it was not working. It was not working. This is what had her pissed. This is what had her feeling some type of way. Honestly, he was still, you know what I'm saying, dealing with men behind closed doors, like with this devil in reverse, still, doing what he wanted to do. Because he still wanted that opportunity when it came to his finances. And maybe even that spell work that he was under in terms of, what she had done could have been part of the reason why he even took this opportunity with the death in the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe he might not even went towards that. If he had not been under that illusion and under that spell work, he would have been more clear-headed and able to defend himself and protect himself. And he wouldn't have just been so in his ego self and worried about his money and his finances to align himself with this demonic, devilish stuff. That's what this is really giving. Wow. So yeah, he don't like her. He don't want nothing to do with her. He don't even want to be around her. It's just unfortunate that they have a child, so he has to cooperate and co-parent and work with her for the sake of making sure that his child has a good life. Making sure that his son be okay. But ultimately, like, she's just a demonic witch who was looking for money, looking for financial abundance, looking for opportunities, looking for security. Like, she's just a dark, evil person that was looking for whatever she could get off of him. And thank God that he got away from her. But I feel like ultimately, with the devil coming out on top of this Three of Pentacles, in reverse, they're basically, the devil in reverse coming out on top of this Three of Pentacles, they're saying that him being around her, working with her, and these three women, the spell work, all of that shit that was being done to him is what led him down that dark path and that dark road into doing this demonic stuff. So it's really unfortunate because people don't be knowing that they be, their decisions don't be their own. They be hearing things, and it be certain people that is around them that's putting dirty thoughts in their ears and leading them down a dark road to take, dirty offers from people because they want to see them doing dark and demonic stuff. And if you're not doing your cleanses, if you unspell work, if you're not, your chakras is not aligned, then you'll be susceptible to those things. That's why it's important to stay grounded, you guys. Yeah, I think I'll be talking about grounding for no reason. Grounding is what keeps your crown protected, keep your head covered, keep you planted firm in reality so that you don't fall for nobody's illusions or spell work. Like, that's very, very important. And they're saying that him not being grounded is what led him down that dark road and that dark path. All right, it was a lot of lies. It was a lot of gossip. It was a lot of people spying on him, like he didn't even know that these women were spying on him, all, spying on him energetically. Excuse me, not even, and they could have been doing it literally, but energetically looking into his energy, getting readings done on him, pulling cards on him, doing candles, all kind of stuff that he was going through because of these women. And he's just walking around not even realizing that he's going through all this shit. And it's making him lustful. It's making him sexual. He basically had an entity attachment and didn't even know. And this was as a result of Aisha as well as two other women that he was dealing with around that time. So that's very unfortunate. All right, let's see. What is he looking for in terms of a love partner? What is he actually looking for in terms of a love partner? Date night. Get ready and be wined and dine. You want to be wined and dine. Fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Somebody that, has the same sex drive as him, that can be as much passionate as him and in love and want to get busy and get down. We have let go, make room for the new beginning on his way to you now. So it feels like in terms of this let go, he wants to evolve in terms of his partnership. He don't want this person to be super clingy. Like, he want to be able to go off and do what he want to do, sleep with whoever. Like, he's looking for a poly type vibe, just to be honest. He's looking for polyamorous type of relationships, what's the one where not just like amorous with love, but like with the sexual nature, where it's like even if they're not in a full relationship and they just have an sex, he wants it to be comfortable for other people to be in the bedroom with them, for them to go individually and sleep with who they want. He just wants something unconventional, like where the person is not controlling and clinging to him, and they each are free to do what they want in terms of using their parts and having sex. We also have no, it's not the right time. I wonder what that's about. We'll have to look into that. We have manifest, tell the universe exactly what you want, and sexuality. Of course, somebody is still figuring themselves out. So he needs people that's open to, different sexual type of things, that are open with the fact that he's into men and women, that he's not just into one gender. Like, he needs somebody that is just as open-minded sexually as him, that is not so quick to say no, thank you. And so I was like, what is this no? He wants somebody who's gonna always say yes, who's pretty much a freakazoid, who's into all type of different stuff, like dominatrix type stuff, like BDS. He just wants somebody with his no holds barred. Like, this person will never say no to anything that he wants to do, that would just be open, that's gonna let him do whatever. Okay, like with this manifest, it says tell the universe exactly what you want, but I'm getting tell the person exactly what you want. So he wants to be able to have this person pretty much listen He want them to be his lapdog sexually, like do whatever he say. He want to be able to dominate them, control them in the bedroom, like I said, BDSM. But also in terms of partners, like if he say, oh, I want to bring another person into the bedroom, like he don't want them to be able to say no. He want to be able to do whatever he want and them listen to exactly what it is that he want. So that's pretty much what it is. And he might even be into the opposite, where he's the submissive and he letting somebody else tell him, it's like, it's not, like I said, it's no holds barred. He's into all that kind of stuff. Femdom, being the dominant, being the submissive. Like, yeah, he's very open sexually, you guys. And he's into a lot of different stuff, and he wants somebody who's on that same level of freak as him. Is somebody gonna match his freak? Like, for real, because it's a lot. All right, let's see how his love treated him in the past. Give it time. Everything in divine time and let things flow. Gold digger. Distance. Mercury retrograde in reverse. Move on and liars. So in terms of in the past, when it comes to love, of course he's dealt with gold diggers. It says they want your money being used. So he was constantly being used, being taken advantage of for his money. We know that. He was dealing with a lot of gold diggers. But I want to pay attention to these roots and these herbs and this plant that's on here, where it's like everything in divine time and let things flow. But he was sitting up here thinking that him meeting somebody or him going back, him not being able to move on and being stuck here, or even with this distance, being on and off, back and forth with a person, where he's thinking that that's divine timing. They saying no, that there's spell work being done. Like, he could probably not even wonder why he's constantly thinking about a person, why he can't stop wanting to be around them or feel their energy, even when he's at a distance from them, like, and he's not around them. Why can he still feel them emotionally? It's because spell work was being done on him. So it was one of those things where, he was constantly having to get away, like constantly have to run from girls that was pretty much using him, abusing him, taking advantage of him, like not trying to give it time, trying to move super quickly, trying to move fast, like trying to get married, have kids, do all, like, bro, these girls be trying to move quick and secure Lil Baby, and try to be in a relationship with him. So he's always having to, with this distance, put a distance between him and these people and stay away from them, because they be psycho. Okay, that's the energy that he gives with this Mercury retrograde in reverse. They be delusional. They be not trying to hear, like, it be miscommunications where they not trying to hear him. If he say, like, I don't think this is working, I don't think we belong together, they'll be like, oh, you just saying that, you're gonna be back, you're gonna still love me. Like, no, these girls be crazy. They be psycho. They be doing spell work on him. Like, they be forcing their way back into his life with this Mercury retrograde in reverse. And unfortunately, with this electronic issues, communication issues, and review everything, they're saying with that coming out in reverse that he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't paying attention, knowing that, females might be causing certain, shoot, they could have been hacking his phone. You don't even know. Going in his phone, seeing what certain text messages, remote viewing him from his dreams, trying to see what he got going on, what's going on in his energy, like all of that stuff. Getting readings done on him, like I said. He trying to wonder, how do you know this? And he thinking, that's weird. How did you know this and this happened? The whole time they done got a reading done. And it's like they saying he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't reviewing everything, because he would have noticed inconsistencies and that he was being lied to, that there was a lot of lies, and these bitches was Pinocchios, excuse my language. That they was sneaky out here, very much black cat energy, being real sneaky in his energy. He needed to be careful because, shoot, they was telling lies, they was moving sneaky, they was doing spell work. There was a lot going on. And it says, move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time, it's over. So he was constantly dealing with women that was a waste of his time, a waste of his energy, that it never even lasted long. Like, he was dealing with, I wouldn't even call them relationships. It was just sexual. It was just intimacy. And he was having to quickly move on to a new cycle, and then go on to another person. But because of the spell work and different things that would be going on, boom, look what, didn't I say they be saying he'll be back, he ain't going nowhere, he gonna be with me, he gonna love me. We just going through it right now, but don't worry, he'll be back. But whole time there was karma involved with this, where cycles were supposed to be ending. There was people trying to avoid going through their karma. They was doing spell work, they was doing things to delay stuff, and then they would always end up not working out in their favor. He would have to move on, and then they would be sad, praying, wanting his sex again, wanting his intimacy again, pregnancy scares, talking about they pregnant, saying, it'd be a lot that he'd be going through, okay, in terms of love in the past. Like, and I feel like he'll be in these on and off situations with girls, like I said, these cycles, these on and off things, where he'll leave them and then they'll be back. He'll end up going back because of the sex, because of the lust, because of the spell work, because of all that was being done. So the whole time he's thinking that he just liked this girl because the sex is good, but it's like, nah, you got spell work done on you, got an entity attachment, you insatiable. You got a lot of stuff going on when it comes to that, because of what these girls is doing to you, probably putting period blood in their food, and who knows, burying his items, burying their underwear, putting stuff in their underwear and under their pillow. You know how these females get down, lighting candles and putting it up. Yo, let me just keep going. But anyways, trying to get pregnant, trying to do anything to manifest him, like, But yeah, he be going through a lot. But I feel like now he knows that. Now he's not as stupid. He's not as blind to it. Like, he sees it. He done awoken from all that now that everything is going on now. So I said, what is going on in terms of love for him now? Is he currently dating? And does he have any current love blockages? Oh my God. Love spell, you be bewitched. All right. He's still challenges coming out in reverse. Make a decision. Work on inner healing. So he's still not, even though he's isolated, he's still dealing with this entity attachment, with this love spell here. He still is bewitched. He still got, an incubus, succubus, whatever you want to call it, a succubus attached to him with this open your heart. He still can't stop sleeping around and making unhealthy choices. His health is possibly compromised. I don't know if he got an STI, STD or something, but yeah, he's going through a lot. Yeah, he's going through a lot. And they saying that in terms of love right now, he's still sleeping around with whoever. And the blockages is that health issues could arise. He's not making good decisions. All he doing is sleeping around, more love and more love and more love with this air sign, being delusional, being stupid, taking a risk and taking a gamble with his life. And they are telling him to slow down. Slow down with this patience. Good things come to those who wait. Just a few more months, they want him to go celibate. Stop sleeping around, stop gambling, stop doing this with your life. See if you could do some cleanses. Reach out to somebody like me who could actually help you get a freaking STD or a spiritual illness or something like that up off for you. That's what he needed to do. And he ain't made a decision yet. He still haven't been focusing on his inner healing. He's still in this in terms of being paranoid about friendships and Young Thug and all this other stuff. But they're telling him in terms of love, he's being delusional. He's effing around. He's still bewitched. He still got a love spell on him, and he's bugging out. So excuse me. I thought he was coming up from under this. But no, that's only in terms of realizing that his friends was fake. But the dummy ain't had, his intuition ain't clicked off in terms of love and all the spell work and all of the stupid ass shit that's being done to him in terms of that. Excuse my language, but it's like, come on now. You should know you gotta stop sleeping around. These women is doing all type of energy siphoning, love spell work on you. I knew he was doing, and I didn't know that this deck had a love spell card in here, but yeah, I knew that type of shit was what was going on with him. So yeah, he's still going through it in terms of love. So we'll see if he starts making any better choices. But let's see about his future predictions. What's gonna be going on with him in the next 6 months? We got Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. He gonna be needing some healing information, bro. I'm telling you, over the next 6 months. I don't know, like I said, health issues may arise. They already said it. So hopefully he reaches out to a root worker. Hopefully he reaches out to somebody like me, like a spiritualist, who could do some root work for him, who could give him some recipes and help him to heal, because he needs that information, because he's got to wake up. That man is bewitched for real, definitely under some love spells right now, and they want him to pretty much become aware and wake up and get some help. So hopefully within the next 6 months, that's where he's headed, is reaching out to a root worker and stuff like that. We have narcissists. Oh God, someone is too full of themselves. So they're saying 6 months from now, this man still gonna be in his ego, still gonna be in his this narcissistic energy, but at least he's gonna be looking in the mirror about it. At least he's gonna be looking in the mirror about it. At least he's gonna have to be facing the fact that he's too full of himself. So like I said, he may get that health, he may get that clock over the head where he get them results that my chart say something that make him just wake up from under that spell, where it's just like, oh my God. And now he looking at himself a little bit different and realizing that he got to wake up from whatever it is that he's doing and get out of his ego self, with this narcissist coming out here and the way this person is looking in the mirror. We also have 1616 readjustments. Okay, listen, it says your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right. So he's got to start getting on that self-control. Stop it. With romantic and platonic relationships, he has to stop. He has to cut it out and readjust. Sorry, you guys. I didn't realize that my storage was full, but thankfully I caught it. But yeah, 1616 readjustments is basically just saying that his self-control is going to be tested over this next 6 months, and we're going to see, if he's smart enough to pretty much not repeat his mistakes from the past. He's going to have to readjust and make some changes, because it's looking like karma is going to be confirmation coming to continue to come to pay him a visit. And so he's got to pretty much figure out how he gonna deal with his new normal, with whatever the changes in his circumstances are gonna be, and whatever ways that he's gonna be tested right now, because that's what's going to be happening. We next have the Night of Cups, so I don't know if they about to, we about to see this on social media, literally, like where somebody post a video of him with another man, or like him sleeping around, but they feel like he's not gonna have no choice but to reconcile with his sexual nature and what he does in the bedroom, because his love life is gonna be a focus over the next 6 months. It's gonna be in the forefront. I don't know, if it's, because pregnancy did come out here, and then with this last future prediction, we had family room. So I don't know, over the next 6 months, he's gonna be expanding his family, growing, having another baby here, because we do have where is it at? I was pretty sure we have pregnancy. Yep, pregnancy out here. So I don't know if pregnancy, don't quote me, but definitely over the next 6 months, we could see his family expanding. We could see him going to family court, literally going through things in terms of his baby mothers, Aisha, probably not Jada, because I don't think she's looking for nothing from him. It could be a new woman that's going to come around saying that she's pregnant for him and they got a baby, trying to look for, trying to do paternity and stir up legal issues and drama for him. But either way, his love life, that's going to be on the forefront over the next 6 months. And him being, I don't know, so full of himself, we're going to be viewing him a little bit different after these, next 6 months. His image and his reputation is definitely going to be changed. So that's what I have as far as Lil Baby. Currently, his career, his rise to fame, and his future predictions for over the next 6 months. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload to the channel. And let me know, any recommendations for any readings, and I'll get to them if I feel like they are interesting. So love you guys, and I will see y'all later.